Oh my god, they're going to describe what a lap dance is.
Might be characteristic of the gait of women who experience vaginal orgasm?
I honestly don't understand this, like, at all. They're really, bar for bar, describing what it's like to go to a strip club.
Michael! I was trying to find more papers. I have to like spend some time looking for more like cursed ass scientific papers because I haven't really been able to find anything. I did find one. You guys ready? What do you think, chat? What do you think?
A woman's history of vaginal orgasm is discernible from her walk.
Research has demonstrated the association between vaginal orgasm and better mental health. Some theories of psychotherapy assert a link between muscle blocks and disturbances of both character and sexual function. In functional sexuological therapy, one focus of treatment is amelioration of voluntary movement. The present study examines the association of general everyday body movement and history of vaginal orgasm. The objective was to determine if appropriately trained sexologists could infer women's history of vaginal orgasm from observing only their gait. The discerning observer may infer women's experience of vaginal orgasm from a gait that comprises fluidity, energy, sensuality, freedom, and absence of both flaccid and locked muscles. Results are discussed with regard to previous research on gait and effect of the musculature on sexual function, the special nature of vaginal orgasm, and implications for sexual therapy. What is this? What is the conclusion here? Exploratory analysis suggests that greater pelvic and vertebral rotation and stride length might be characteristic of the gait of women who experience vaginal orgasm? Wait, how many people did they do this with? What is the point of this? What do we use this for? When you hit the walk of shame? But that isn't because of orgasm. That's because you just had something stuck between your legs and it's you're walking back. Like, hello? Look how many that was a PhD, a PhD, a PhD, and a Master of Arts? Proud strut equals good orgasm. Hunched over walk, bad orgasm. Source. Just trust me, bro. Trust me, bro. I walk different when something dripping down my thigh is all I'm saying. But that's different. That's because you literally had something shoved in between your legs. That's not because I'm confused. You know what? Maybe it is. Maybe they're like trying to figure out if like, maybe you can tell if your partner has faked an orgasm based on the way they walk. Maybe that's what this is. Like, there's a bunch of dudes just like around a table, like, I don't know if she's faking. How do we figure this out? Look at her walk, man. Look at her walk. Look at the way she walks. Yeah, that's gotta be it, right? That's gotta be it. That's how we figure this out. So their sample size was 16. God, I hate these studies. They had a whole 16 people, man. The ratings were unrelated to the women's reports of clitoral orgasm with a partner, and clitoral orgasm was unrelated to vaginal orgasm. What? Are they saying that, like, the end result is the same? Yesterday, you see me, right, chat? You see what type of creator I am? You know? You see me? Me, the one that's covered in, like, quite literally a full-body condom. I literally don't have an ounce of skin showing, right? Like, we play sci-fi games and have somewhat unhinged science conversations on this channel. Sometimes educational, sometimes not educational at all. I got an email last night inquiring about a Love and sponsorship. It's like, what? It's a dildo company. It's a rather popular dildo company. I haven't answered. I don't know what to do with it. What do I do with this? They're very sweet. Well, I don't think me or my audience is their target market. Use discount code POMFLATION. Oh my god. I mean, I'm not answering. I don't know. I'm gonna see what they. If it's just an affiliate code, I don't think it's happening. But if they legitimately want to give me money to promote them, like on a stream or something, I think I'm gonna have to say yes because it's so fucking funny. I wonder what made them reach out in the first place. We also did. Oh, yeah. We read an article. We read a news article, not a news article, a science article about whether you could tell if someone's had an orgasm, a woman has had an orgasm based on the way they walk. What did the paper conclude? It was not clear at all. Okay, I found something else for you guys. And by I mean Ark. Ark and Rizzy. And I can show you two things that are not about... Well, I'll show the Rizzy one first because it's the easiest thing to just like segue off of. Ovulatory cycle effects on tip earnings by lap dancers. Economic evidence for human estrus? To see whether estrus was real... Oh, I'm just thinking about how they're going to fucking measure this. I have to stop myself. I have to think... Was this just an excuse for the researchers to go to the fucking strip club? To see whether estrus was really lost during human evolution, as researchers often claim, we examined ovulatory effects on tip earnings by professional lap dancers working in gentlemen's clubs. 18 dancers recorded their menstrual periods, work shifts, and tip earnings for 60 days on a study website. Normally, cycling participants earned about $335 per 5-hour shift during estrus, and $260 per shift during luteal phase, and $185 per shift during menstruation. The results constitute the first direct economic evidence for the existence and importance of estrus in contemporary human females. In a real-world work setting, these results have clear implications for human evolution, sexuality, and economics. I'd like to point out that this has a N18. They did this with 18 people. It's not a lot of people. Maybe that isn't psych, but that's not a lot of people. Gangstead, Thornhill, and Garver, 2002, found converging evidence that men's real-world behavior is sensitive to their female partners' estrus cues. Among 31 mated women not using the pill, their sexual partners were reported as using more mate-guarding behaviors, including higher proprietariness, attentiveness, and vigilance, e.g. calling the women's cell phones at random times to see what they were doing. What the fuck is... It's not just these are multiple researchers, okay? Look at the citations. What does that have to do with that? What in the pseudoscience? These dudes studied monkeys for sure. For sure. They further found that estrus mate guarding by male partners was mediated by both men's sexual attractiveness. Less attractive men guarded especially more during estrus. Yeah, that's actually fire. The reason you're super clingy to your girl is because you're ugly. Congratulations. Oh my god. Wow. Oh, there's background. I don't think I've ever seen an intro into a background before. That's not what I'm used to seeing. Oh, I'm so excited for them to talk. Oh, this is fantastic, chat. Chat, this is the first sentence of this is the best thing I've ever read in my entire life. Oh my god, chat. Because academics may be unfamiliar with the gentleman club subculture, some backgrounds may be helpful to understand why this is an ideal setting for investigating real-world attractiveness effects to human female estrus. Yeah, academics can't afford fucking strip clubs. You're broke and get no bitches. What are you talking about? Oh my god. The following information was gathered from interviews with local club managers and from the sociological and feminist literature on erotic dancing. All participants in this study worked as lap dancers in Albuquerque gentlemen's clubs circa November 2006 through January 2007. The clubs serve alcohol. They are fairly dark, smoky, and loud, with a DJ playing rock, rap, or pop music. Most club patrons are Anglo or Hispanic men aged 20 to 60, ranging from semi-skilled laborers to professionals. They typically start the evening by getting a stack of US $20 bills from the club's on-site ATM and having a couple of drinks. Dancers in these strip clubs perform topless but not bottomless. Law requires them to wear underwear, bikinis, or similar garments to cover the pubis. Thus, menstruating dancers can wear tampons, with strings clipped short or tucked up. Why is that important? And change them often during heavy flow days without revealing any signs of menstruation. Dancers typically wear very little perfume, but they often have breast implants, dye their head hair, trim their pubic hair, shave their legs and underarms, and adopt a stage name different from their real first name. During work, each dancer performs 1 to 3 stage dances on an elevated central stage about every 90 minutes to advertise her presence, attractiveness, and availability for lap dances. They're really bar for bar describing what it's like to go to a strip club.
This is one of the strangest things I think I've ever seen. And this is because, by the way, academics don't know what a strip club is. Oh my God, they're going to describe what a lap dance is. In each lap dance, the male patron sits on a chair or couch, fully clothed, with his hands on his sides. He is typically not allowed to touch the dancer. The topless female dancer sits on the man's lap, either facing away from him to display her buttocks, back, and hair, or facing him, either leaning back to display her breasts and to make conversation and eye contact, or leaning forward to whisper in his ear. Lap dances typically entail intense rhythmic contact between the female pelvis and the clothed male penis. What a fucking line. Wow. Participants were recruited through indirect emails, forwarded through local industry contacts. They definitely didn't just show up to the club chat. Newspaper advertisements and flyers posted near clubs. To minimize possible response bias through demand characteristics, we mentioned the ovulatory cycle only in recruitment and consent, and we did not suggest that tip earnings would be examined specifically as a function of days since menstrual onset. To enter the study, each participant collected an experiment packet containing a consent form, 14-page questionnaire, and instructions for using the online website from a public location at the University of New Mexico campus. Every day they were to report their mood, work hours, work location, and tip earnings in US dollars, and whether they had begun or ceased menstruation. Participants were offered a payment of $30 upon completion of the study. Oh, cheap asses. $30? That's it? Poor ladies. A total of 18 women gave analyzable data, signed consent forms, completed questionnaires, and reported menstrual cycle data over a 60-day period. The 14-page questionnaire completed by each participant gave extensive background information, only some of which is relevant to the study. All participants were exclusively or primarily heterosexual. All women reported regular cycles of 28 to 30 days. 7 were using hormonal contraception pill. Wait a second. Wait. 7 of them were on the pill.
Next.
That means that if they had 18 participants, they had 11 participants that were having a natural period, and 7 of them on the pill. So that's not even N18. That's N11 and N7. I don't even know if I'm reading the rest of it, but I'd like to point out that days since menstrual onset and dollars earned per shift, right? So you see this peak, which I'm assuming is supposed to be in the estrus cycle. You see another peak again, which, I mean, this was like, what, the period and then ovulation or something? But like, that the pill users' earnings are not constant. They go up closer to the end of the month. So like, it's not constant for either of them. And you would assume if it's regulating your hormones, then you would expect it to be more consistent, right? If you're saying that this is a peak, then this also has to be a peak. And what's causing this peak, if not the estrus that you're mentioning? This is bad experimental design, chat. This was an excuse to go to the strip club. It was. There's more research done into if a hot dog is a sandwich. Yes, I would say so. Oh, this is an old paper. You're about to see what an old paper looks like, chat. This was written on a typewriter. Disco clothing, female sexual motivation and relationship status. Is she dressed to impress? The relationship between a female's clothing choice, sexual motivation, hormone levels, and partnership status, single or not single, partner present or not present, was analyzed in 351 females attending an Austrian discotheque. We digitally analyzed clothing choice to determine the amount of skin display, sheerness, and clothing tightness. Participants self-reported sexual motivation, and we assessed estradiol and testosterone levels through saliva sampling. Okay, thank God. This is actually a better paper. They have a significant number of people, and they actually properly measured hormone levels. Results show that females are aware of the social signal function of their clothing. No way, I had no idea that some people find my clothing more attractive. That's crazy, dude. No way. In females who had a partner, but were at the disco unaccompanied by their partner, estradiol levels correlated positively with skin display and clothing tightness. Significant differences were not found, however, for clothing choice across the partnership status groups. This is like, I learned about, like, you learn about this in psych. It's paternal investment, whether or not like it's true or whatever, something. Women, if they get pregnant, like, they have to deal with that for like the entirety of being pregnant. Something, it's like a whole thing, right? This is fun. Serial play me. Hell yeah. Anyways, I think we reached our peak with the last article. It might still be scuffed, but like there is obviously, this is more legitimate. They actually properly leveled hormone levels and had a higher sample size. So just intrinsically, it's a better research paper, at least in the experimental design. Whether or not the question was good is like different, but you know, these are fun stats though. Anyways, we will keep doing this. I want to do this. We have been pretty consistent with this, where we do it at least once a week, where we find the scuffed ass papers. I have so much fun with it. I had fun. Science Sunday. Oh, I do like the sound of that. Space Saturday, Space Game Saturday, Science Sunday. Bad Science Sunday. I'm okay with that. Strange Science Sundays, but strange means it could still be good. Scuffed Science. Scuffed Science Sundays. That's it. That's it. Scuffed Science Sundays. Excellent. Everyone remembers to be working. I'm so again, 10 years studying in university just so I could somewhat break down why that research is really bad. Oh, Jesus Christ.